All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to go over with you the instructions for completing this next activity. This activity is called Caption the Comic. And what this is, it's basically going to give you like a comic strip of a roller coaster. And you are going to create your own comic using a story to explain each part of the roller coaster. Now, if you do not know what a comic is, that's okay. A comic is a strip of 3 to 5, maybe even 6 little squares with a cartoon that tells a short story within those squares from beginning to end. Typically, it'll have a joke, a punchline, a climax in the story where somebody learns a lesson or somebody is or information is revealed to the character in the story, or the character becomes a hero or the bad guy wins. Okay, so sometimes the entire story will be told within those certain amount of squares. And then other times you'll see the 3 dots to indicate that the story would continue on at the next time that that comic airs. So in our activity today called Caption the Comic, you're going to be putting to use your creative capabilities to develop your own comic story using this activity. So let's go to slide 2 and we'll get started. Slide 2 has a potential and kinetic energy short read. I'm going to read this out loud with you, and I'd really like for you to follow along so that we can refresh our memory as to what potential and kinetic energy is. I'm going to begin. You may have read this already, but let's reread to recall potential and kinetic energy. Energy is the ability to do work or cause change. 2 types of energy exist: potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy is energy that is stored, waiting to be released. It has the potential to do work. Forms of potential energy include gravitational, chemical, elastic, and nuclear energies. Another form of energy is kinetic energy, which is energy in motion. Forms of kinetic energy include mechanical, thermal, radiant, which is also light, sound, and electrical energies. So those different types of energies we actually learned about late last week. Okay, so hopefully that's not brand new information, but we will be learning more about them tomorrow as well. Next slide, slide 3. Slide 3 says, observe what is in each picture strip below. Begin to think of points where the roller cart could have potential and kinetic energy. What other words might be used to describe that cart's energy? Right now, I just want you to look at the picture and think about where potential energy and kinetic energy would occur in the roller coaster. Okay, so remember that the highest point is where I will have my maximum potential energy. Okay, and the reason being it's because it's my highest. Is my roller cart moving? Not yet. I don't see an indicator to indicate it has already started moving. These arrows here indicate that my roller cart is moving. Okay, so I want you to look at the rest of the strips. Take about 20 seconds and pause this video and think about where each cart location is, if that's potential or kinetic, and if that's going up or down. It would also be good if you grabbed a scratch sheet of paper and just did a very quick sketch with this cart. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're not going to show it to anybody, just to help you along with your thinking. Go ahead and pause this video now, and when you're ready to move on, you can press play. Okay, so hopefully you have sketched this little roller coaster down and you went through and just kind of did a quick label as to where each potential and kinetic energy is. Like I said, I just want you thinking about it. Let's go to slide 4. Slide 4 has our directions. The directions say, using the word bank to the right, you will be filling in or captioning the comic. You must also use the sentence stem starters on the left. If, then, because, and so, as you describe what is happening in each strip. You will caption the next slide for each corresponding comic strip labeled A, B, C, D. So this first one is A, and then I have B, C, and then D. On the right side, it says word bank. My word bank includes potential energy, kinetic energy, increasing, decreasing, maximum, and minimum. On the left, it shows my sentence stems that you will be using. You're going to use one sentence stem for each frame. They're going to go in order. So for frame A, you're going to use the sentence stem if. And then for frame B, it will be then. C will be because. And D is so. Because you're going to tell a story with this comic strip. Let's go to slide 5. Slide 5 at the top says, in the text box below, create your captions for each comic. Remember to use the sentence stems on the left and the vocabulary words from the word bank. Go in the order of the pictures, beginning with A. So I want you to think of a story or a funny comic. It could be about you and your family. It could be about anybody that you would like, maybe even an unknown character. Maybe if Superman and Batman came and went and rode on each other's roller coasters at Six Flags together. Any story you want to create, be as creative as you want to. Please make it fun. And you're going to think of what is the start of this story. Okay, so for example, caption A is showing that my roller coaster is at the very top before it starts to go down. If I'm going to go stick with my Superman and Batman went to Fiesta, Texas together because they each have their own ride there, right? I'm going to start it off that way. So if Superman and Batman rode on the Iron Rattler together, they could become best friends. As they approached the top of the ride, where maximum potential energy, well, let me change that up. I don't think I really like that. Where they experience what the maximum potential energy is right before they fall. In that moment, Superman clung to Batman and described his greatest fear, I had a misspelling, is flying. Which is kind of funny because Superman flies, right? You would think he's not really that scared. But like I said, I'm just being fun and creative. Now, if I go through, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but if I go through and read this, it says, if Superman and Batman rode on the Iron Rattler together, they could become best friends. As they approach the top of the ride where they experience the maximum potential energy. I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to underline it. Okay? Because that's showing Mrs. Hernandez, you use the words out of the word bank. You have to use the words out of the word bank to describe the type of energy at that precise moment. You have to embed it into your story. Okay? So they experience what the maximum potential energy is right before they fall. In that moment, Superman clung to Batman and described his greatest fear is, I don't want to say, let's change it to falling. Is falling. He doesn't like heights. Okay? So maybe that's the storyline that I'm going to take. On slide 6, it's going to show the second tile. On slide 7, it will show the third tile. And then on slide 8, it'll show the final tile. So I want you to share with me a story. It could be a story about you. It could be a story about anybody you would like to make up. As they ride this roller coaster, using if, then, because, and so, and using the word bank words to indicate the type of action going on in that particular frame. Now, if you are confused about the sentence stems, if, then, because, and so, remember this is a story told in 4 different pictures. So if I go to slide 6, my sentence stem is going to be then. Okay, so maybe I'm going to continue about how Superman clung to Batman. And then they fell down and they reached what? As they came down, Batman, and I'm going to expand from there. Okay, I don't want to continue with my story because I certainly want you to be able to come up with your own. Okay, but you can use it as a basis to help you out. And then on slide 7, you have the because, and on slide 8, you have so. So as you complete this activity, if you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy, take your time, and this is going to be due today. Thank you.